Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 13th Fleet. I am your host, Chris. We are going to be talking again about the Armada Rebellion in the Rim campaign that we have been doing. We are moving into round 2, and I have the full Armada team here. We've got Garrett, we've got Reuben, and we've got Nick, so it's going to be a fun show. We're just going to jump right into it. I'm not even going to waste any time with any great lengthy introductions here.
All right, thanks, Chris. So this week we're talking about the round 2 of our Rebellion in the Rim campaign, and we're going to try to keep it a little bit more organized for everybody to make things more clear. So this week we started off, because it is the start of round 2, there was no new bases built. But at the first thing, we're going to talk about the strategy phase, and the initiative belonged to the Rebel Alliance for this one. And the first offense that we declared, the assault, was on Mustafar.
Now, before we jump into that, I do want to ask how we arrived at Rebels receiving the initiative, because we are playing a larger fleet than normal. We've got 4 players rather than 3 players. So just to let people know how we got there.
It's based on who has the least campaign points.
Yeah.
So after last time, the Empire was
Tied
ahead.
at the end of round.
It was tied. Yep.
It's tied, and the ties always go to the Rebels. So,
Yes.
being that it was tied, we got to declare our first assault, which was on Mustafar, which I, with Gorman's Revenge, immediately led into. And then the Empire declared their assault on Nick.
Our first assault was on. Shoot. The exciting one was in my head. I think our first assault was with Ethan and Sean at Concord Dawn.
Concord Dawn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Reuben, our second assault
was to Lothal yet again, and that was with the Claw.
Yeah, our double MC30 fleet. Reuben cut out there for a second. And then Nick, you attacked, I want to say Ordman's Held, right?
We went to Ordman's. We sent the Grim Battle Group.
Perfect. So we declared everything down, and we matched who was going to defend who. Now, in any of these battles, none of us gained any conditions, like low fuel, low supplies, or low morale, correct? Right, because everybody had either a base or a base with a presence to flow through to supply their fleets. And after that, we just got started. I'll talk about my battle first, the first assault on Mustafar. So our goal here as Rebel Alliance was, there's a giant resource inequity between us and the Empire. So it was critical that we won one of these resource battles. And so I had to fight against the other Nick on the team, Nick Parrott, his ISB, triple Architans, triple LTTs, EST, and Concealment fleet. And Concealment is a special commander upgrade that acts like Admonition does on MC30 in the regular game, where if you're close to a obstacle, you can get rid of a defense token to cancel a die, which is a pretty powerful effect when you're trying to stay alive. So my fleet was boosted by Harris and Dula for my battle at Lothal. And so I had, my MC30, my CR90, and 2 Scourges, 2 X-Wings, and Hera. So we went against Nick's fleet. And it was a tough battle. Nick is very good at positioning his Architans at long range and maneuvering them. So it was it was hyperspace assault was our objective. And which is a specific to Mustafar objective. It replaced the yellow in Nick's deck. So I chose that one because his other objectives were more advantageous to him. But it was a real like dance for like the first 3 rounds of where our ships were going to land, because he was real good at queuing up Confire to roll 4 red dice at me with his LTTs. And his LTTs against my fighters is real dangerous. I will say I got very close to losing multiple squadrons, but just barely hid them behind asteroids and debris fields after dropping bombs. He managed to cripple my CR90 flagship, and in our rules, we're doing, if you get half damage, they get half points for the ship. And so he got my CR90 down to 1 hole left, which was real scary. And then he But I managed to, with my boosted comms, my GR75, and my fighters with Hera, was able to bomb one of his Architects to death. I didn't get a single shot off with my MC30. I don't think. I spent the whole time chasing him. But then that small victory there with taking out his Architects, because they're worth quite a few points, let us win. So it was by the skin of our teeth, we won at Mustafar.
And I will say that is the one battle that you can catch on YouTube. It is up there now, so if you want to check out the 13th Fleet on YouTube, you can see that particular fight.
Yeah, you can almost fast forward it to like round 4, and then you can watch us like he's damaging like squadrons 4 damage at a time, and I'm like, oh man, we got to go, boys. We only have 5 hull, so it was pretty exciting. But anyways, yeah, Rebels won that one. But now we can talk about the, I guess, the Concord Dawn offensive, right?
Yeah. I do have a question real quick.
Yeah.
When he was flat, you said you were hiding your squadrons in the asteroids and fields. Does he not have an ambush gunner?
No, he has concealment.
I think he was picking up. No, I think he was picking up ambush gunner, but he didn't. Yeah, I had ambush gunner to start with.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, ambush gunner would have been real bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, Chris, you want to talk? I
was not at Concord Dawn. In fact, none of us were at Concord Dawn.
Yeah, Concord Dawn was the other Jeff and Ethan.
Okay. Well, all right. I guess Nick and Reuben, see what you know about it.
So I watched some of that battle, and basically the gist of the Concord Dawn battle was that the Rebel 1 basically split between the Victory and the Gladiator and got down to 1 hull remaining at but all of Jeff's squads were able to bomb the Victory to death, and the Rebel 1 got a double arc into the Gladiator and just blew it away. So it was a pretty close run affair. It seemed like Jeff was really sweating trying to play against 2 people.
From what I saw, it was a slugfest. Yeah. I mean, just a brawl.
Yeah, they look like they're having a lot of fun over there too. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of death. Rebel bombers are really coming to clutch lately.
Oh yeah. I really like we've gotten so used to playing 400-point competitive Armada with like aces, like just everybody bringing aces, that when it's like when you're restricted to just generics and ships have 1 upgrade on it, those getting 3 black bomber ships on you and you really don't have the way to mitigate it, like it just tears you up.
Right.
So, but yeah, so that was another Imperial loss there.
Yeah, it wasn't a good round for the Imperials, but we'll get more into that because here is the good news for the Empire.
Yeah, so I'll talk about my game. Is that
yeah?
My segue, my cue. So so I played Jason with his double MC30 torpedo list, 4 A-wings, double MC30, and a GR75. And so I brought Vortex Task Force. And so my interdictor combat refit with my Gladiator 2 reprojections experts. And so I bring my proximity mines, and we play the HoloNet Overdrive, or HoloNet Override, which is one of the campaign objectives. And so basically the station gets put down. So second player places all the obstacles, and the station has to be outside distance 5 of your edge, and more than 1 away from every other obstacle. And what you do is second player, when they spend, both players can spend engineering points 2 to 1 to place a victory token or an objective token on the objective card. And then the second player can spend 2 points to remove an objective token for a victory point. And at the end of the game, first player gets a victory token for every objective token still remaining on the card. So the idea is that like first player wants to try to stack up tokens on the card, and second player wants to try to take them off. Try to get, like you're pulling all the data. And so I was perfectly fine with that objective because I'm running the Master Engineer ability with an Interdictor and a Gladiator that just want to sit at speed 1 and engineer all game. And so the way I deployed was I put right up on my edge of my border so that even though the station was outside distance 5 of my board edge, it was still at distance 2 of my deployment edge. So I was able to, right off the bat, start putting tokens that I could take off. And so I basically created a shell around my station with all the debris fields and asteroids and put the proximity mines right there. And so Jason was really nervous about coming in the proximity mine. So he's put his MC-30s on like the wing at like speed 3 and 4. So he started flying in really fast, trying to get behind the debris fields and away from my proximity mines. But then I started flying forward, knowing that he had to come all the way around. I took my 2 TIE Defenders with my new ace, Volt Scarus, and I ripped his squad ball apart. It was not even. It was brutal.
Yeah, I was watching those A-Wings. They were not rolling hot.
Yeah, my Defenders each, in a squad activation, my Defenders each flew up, and they both 4 damaged A-Wings. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
That's not how that's supposed to go.
And then Volt tied up the last 2 of them, and he was so afraid of my counter 4 with my scatter token that he just didn't attack me. So Volt was just tying up. Because he's like, you can't attack me if I don't attack you. And I was like, right. He says, I'm not going to attack you. I said, that's fine, because I'm just trying to keep you tied down anyway. So, I just basically flew forward, sucking up tokens. I ended up getting 4, I think, victory tokens off of the objective. And I just sped up and flew away. And so his MC-30 was just trying to come in. He ended up hitting a proximity mine. He was something to shoot black dice. So he came in too close, hit a proximity mine. He traded blows with the Gladiator. Gladiator hit it back. His flagship limped away at like half hull. And then I just flew away, and he didn't get any. I ended up repairing all my damage. So at the end of the game, I didn't have any damage cards on either of my ships. His flagship was at half. He lost all of his squadrons, and I didn't lose any of my squadrons. And so it was just a frustrating game for him, because I had such a control over the zoning of it. So his MC-30s just never got in position, and so I just flew away with just some scratches on the paint.
Yeah, this is a huge case of objective selection.
Yes, I really built a fleet that's like wants to sit back and play objectives. It doesn't have a lot of killing potential, which I did kind of to. I didn't want to be a bully and come into like a 200-point game with like just a crushing fleet. I wanted to play something that was kind of like more fun and like defensive.
Yeah,
and it's really working well at the small point games. But I wanted to let my opponents kind of also be able to fly their ships and not just like have to worry about getting smacked off the table. Speaking of things getting smacked off the table, Chris, you want to talk about your game?
Oh, the battle of who could care less.
Yeah.
You guys do it 1 damage card?
The battle of Chris going.
Oh, oops! I'd better get out of here.
So this is Ord Mantell, right?
No.
Yes, this is Ord Mantell.
Yeah.
And so, I am assaulting.
The return.
Yeah, I was really thinking that the objective there, advanced gunnery, was actually going to help me out there, and it might have that last round. I had a chance to make it work for me, but ultimately I got suckered in with my fighters.
Oh, it was close.
And the thing about it is that I'm so used to being able to really bomb. And after I took that first shot at that transport, I was like, wait, I'm rolling 1 dice, and you're going to just have all of this flak at me, and I'm not going to really do much at all to anything that you've got with 2 bombers. So you know what? I'd better pull back. You don't have any squads, so there's no point to engaging in that manner. I'm just going to be giving you the points from the squad. So I do have to admit I got kind of lucky. The dice rolls were not as good for you as they could have been. Had a couple of squads that were down to 1 hull. Yeah. But hiding on the station helped me out tremendously. And then it was just a matter of you were playing keep away with me. I could not get a really good shot with the ISD. The last round, I had a shot on both the Corvette and the Hammerhead, and on both of those, front arc shots because we were using the objective there. But I couldn't get either one of them to half, so there were no points scored in that game.
Which means the second player, the
so
defender.
I took the Hammerhead, and it kind of did this. It did kind of a curve falling back to the rest of my fleet. So my full fleet, because it's a new fleet, is Assault Frigate Mark II-A with ECMs and LTTs, a CR-90A with turbo laser reroute circuits, a Hammerhead torpedo corvette with X-Rax, and a GR-75 transport with Comstat. I X-Raxed a squadron because I needed points. Oh, it was terrible. And I still rolled blanks. And my Assault Frigate A with its 2 blue and LTT went whiff. And I was like, no. These 2 squadrons. But like I jinked like this, and I had the flotilla come like this to make a box. And the station is right here at the edge of the box. And he bombs the back of my flotilla. And he looks at this box where 3 black would happen. And he goes,
yeah, you're choking up there as far as you were choking up there as far as your audio was concerned. So essentially, he made a kill box, and it was a very good kill box. Yeah. And I recognized that after I took the first shot and said, no, thank you.
That's good. Those are good TIE pilots to escape, though. No shields. Well, awesome. So because of no points scored, second player wins. So we defended Ord Mantell. There was not a lot of map movement this time. So now for the Rebel side, we were able to repair all of our damage to all our ships. What about Nick? Do you guys have any scarred forces?
I believe Ethan and Sean will have 1 scarred interceptor off their fleet.
Gotcha. And then, so veteran forces. So on the Rebel side, Harrison Dula managed to blow up a Architans. So she gets she's a vet token now. And I think our Providence at Rebel 1 blew up the Gladiator. So it's a vet token.
Yes.
What about you, Nick? Did you have any?
We Volscaris is a veteran. So that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's really dangerous.
No.
Man, I can't emphasize how dangerous Nick's fleet is scary. Like his Interdictor, Gladiator, TIE Defenders, Volscaris.
I didn't choose this path, but it has been laid before me.
Yeah.
Violence from the very beginning.
I didn't expect to get squadrons.
So interestingly, Lothal they fought another green objective. So now the Imperial Vortex gets another H squadron.
Yep. I'm not telling you who it is, but I'll give you 3 guesses.
We are pretty much sure you picked.
The best ace plot to go with them.
That was probably the biggest win. As far as resources around, but then after that,
so there's a lot of rebel presence on the map. I'm not happy with that.
What do you say, Reuben?
So that's both the greens from Lothal are played.
Yes.
So there's no more aces coming out of Lothal. Oh, not Lothal. Yeah, Lothal.
Yes. Yeah.
Are they one time use?
Yeah.
Yeah. Campaign objectives. Once they get spent, they're spent.
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah. That's interesting. Does that go with the replacement of red, yellow, and blue?
It does not. As written. So if for example, Ord Mantell has advanced gunnery as the listed map objective, but it doesn't count as a campaign objective. And as per the rule book, which I don't know if we want to adjust on this because we are playing with one more player than the game's kind of designed for. So we're probably going to have more repeat battles potentially. I don't really know what the full campaign scale is going to look like.
Depends on the strategy, because you don't get points for winning a defense at a place you already have presence. So your you want to go out and attack new planets because that's the only way you get like strategic points to win the actual campaign.
Right.
And I think that we have more than enough aces, and if we had any more, they would absolutely get out of hand. They're
Well, you can
already
add
out
them
of
to
hand
other
because with
fleets.
that Hera, it's going to be a
Right.
problem.
Chris doesn't have any aces yet.
No.
And neither does Jeff's fleet, which they could add up.
Well,
Right.
they're all just hoovered up by him, so he's just going to keep doing it.
Right. But now,
Well, Lothal is even harder to take now.
Lothal's got a base, yeah. So we'll get there. But
Yeah.
After that, campaign score wise, the rebels scored
Was
what 1 point from that or 2 points? What's the second point
2
from?
points.
It was
There
both their
is
attacks.
a point for presence at Mustafar and a point for presence at Concord Dawn.
That's right.
Oh, because it was a new battle.
Because
that
it was
we defended.
unoccupied.
Yes.
Okay, so that puts it at what 3-1 right now.
4-2. I think.
4-2.
4-2. Okay, because the
Yes.
Empire got 1 from Lothal.
Nope.
No,
No.
but they get
Because you
one
don't get a camp. We didn't get any.
Well,
It was
they
last week
got-
was 2-2.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. So
Yeah,
Rebels
it was
have 4,
2-2
Empire
and
has
then
2.
2-0.
So that means Empire now has the initiative going to the next one.
Right.
But
Yeah.
so now bases. Nick.
Yeah. So
How many bases?
last turn we were able to get 4 resources, which is incredible. And so with that, we built 2 bases at our only 2 locations that we got presence at. So we put a base on Endor and a base on Lothal.
All right. And then Reuben, we didn't have the resources yet.
No, not yet.
If we have
We've
to,
got a
we'll
bunch of other
starve
stuff,
you out.
We just don't have resources for bases.
That is my goal with going
Yeah.
resources was to create an economy, and at least we have that going for
I was
us.
gonna say you got that going. But Reuben, what
Yeah.
all tokens did we gain from this? What is our total set?
So our strategic effects tokens are and 2 skilled spacers. And we gained a skilled spacer from the victory at
Dawn.
Concord Dawn. We have a repair token left from from winning at Ord Mantell the first time. We don't get another one for the defense because that's not how it works. And we have a Spynet token from our base on.
It's Dantooine.
So we have a lot of like support logistic stuff to fight the Shadow War, which was my intent from the beginning. But boy, not having enough resources for bases hurts because we can't dig in.
Yeah, the map's in a real weird spot right now. We've got a lot of positions, but the Empire's like they've got a solid foundation.
We're entrenched.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually my plan was to go for resources and then try to put bases down so that we could create a network that we couldn't get out, that we wouldn't lose supplies on. Kind of create our supply chain.
Right. So now, in this next battles, if the rebels get 2 victories on new planets, it will push us into the first pivotal battle.
Right.
So if the Empire wants to delay that, they've got to win 3 battles.
Yeah.
Which
I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah. No, I'm ready. I'm really excited for Thursday.
I just don't want to fly against Reuben again.
You're the big meaty ships, ISD. You're gonna be even more scary now,
You're
Chris.
playing a lot.
I don't know what you're gonna add to your fleet next, but I've got a sneaking suspicion of what it is.
And I think if you play Reuben again, you're gonna have a better idea what to do against him.
Yeah, but I still feel like my squads aren't going to do much against him. Yeah.
Ooh.
You can just keep your squads back, let them clean up.
But yeah, well, I mean that's
Strategically, the biggest thing is that now Rebel Alliance has presence on both the exits from Sector 1, which means that any battles that occur in there will cause low fuel and low supplies to any Empire fleet that attacks or defends there.
Yep.
Yeah, we're pretty entrenched.
Yeah, and I'm highly anticipating an attack in Sector 1.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I'm actually expecting 2 attacks in Sector 1. I think you guys are going to be mean.
I thought about it.
I think strategically, I think it's the best thing to do.
There's a lot of good options in Sector 1 for us to attack.
Sure. Yeah. Give them ideas there.
Oh, I'm baiting him. I'm two moves ahead of him.
Oh, look, I have like a map that has all paper arrows on it of who attacked where. Oh, I'm getting way too engaged in this game, frankly.
Yeah, no, this is.
But it's been so much fun. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe how different this is compared to regular Armada because, like, you're using less toys, like, overall, but everything just feels more important. And it feels like you're working towards something, which I really like in games. So, I think this is. I wish, AMG would actually do more of this. I think would actually be better than just piling on more plastic. I wouldn't mind more plastic, but I think scenarios like this they fit Armada really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to actually figure out a way to do it for X-Wing, but
yeah, X-Wing had a lot of so if you go in the archives of X-Wing, there's a lot of fan-made campaign situations. Especially from the 1.0 era, and most of that stuff's transferable. So if you go searching, you'll find it. Especially with X-Wing's epic battles, where they used to have like the giant CR-90s and giant raiders. But no, for Armada, we've been talking a lot about making a custom map or something, like adding hyperlanes and making it so you can't just jump from Dantooine to Ryloth. You have to go through the correct areas to try and make it. And then that'll add like pinch points and an extra layer of strategy. So, but
as an aside here, I mean, when the group that I started playing Armada with played this campaign, immediately when we were done with it, even before we were done with it, we were looking at the Corellian campaign and wondering how we might fix that, because I got to say, I don't like that setup as much as I like this one.
Yeah, so I've read through it and looked at it. I think the map is workable if you want to try and do something with it, but the problem with, the benefit of Rebellion the Rim is it's extremely replayable, and if you wanted to, you can switch around the icons and stuff to make stuff different, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I know Ion Radio for Clone Wars, they like added certain upgrades to certain planets. Yeah. To balance it out more.
Well, and that's the next big thing I would love to see too is maybe a Clone War, like campaign box. But
yeah, that would be nice.
It's hard because you don't have they'd have like 4 ships to pick from, but like the smaller points kind of helps that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It would still be pretty thematic because like if you watch the TV show or even the old books, the battles are primarily the ships we have. So
yeah,
it wouldn't seem too out of place. And ships like the Acclimator would see great use.
Well, that's one thing that's really been nice to see about just what we're doing is we're like everybody's running ships and upgrades that we don't usually see, but it works like smaller points because like those the reason that we don't see them is because they get hedged out by more competitive builds and like better, like more efficient ships or more efficient combination upgrades.
Aces and stuff. Like Jeff is using Lancers in his Rebel 1 fleet. And
you mean Lancer pursuit crafts?
Yeah. And in regular Armada, they're not very good. But here all of a sudden, Rogue, Grit, Black Non-Bomber, Four Hole.
Are they
all of a sudden, yeah, they're bombers. I'm sorry, bombers. They're all of a sudden they're really good because it's hard to kill something with 4 Hole. Unless you're Nick and you roll 4 hits.
I was say I haven't had any problem.
Which is wild, sir.
I can say that
unreal.
I was crying over not having rerolls. The ISD is not quite as scary without rerolls.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you got into the bear trap with me because I've flown against that stupid ship so many times with my assault that I'm just like, here's all the measurements. I've done the muscle memory, and it's just like, and
Yeah.
just never gonna get a shot. So
Yeah.
but I'll
Yeah,
have
so
to fight
you're
you
never gonna
if we
you're
fight
never gonna
again.
kill that assault frigate. I don't think that assault frigate's gonna get scarred this entire campaign.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gunning after that. Architects might do better against that than I would.
Not with ECM.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah, once any of these ships
I
get
don't know.
ECMs, it's going to be real challenging to
Yeah,
do anything
it's.
to them.
I mean, with brace, redirect, and evade, one architect's gonna shoot. It's gonna go. I evade, take 1 damage. The next one shoots. I redirect 3 damage to one side, and then the last one shoots. It goes. I brace down to 2, and you go cool.
Yeah. But no, like after I don't know, the first pivotal battle's gonna be really interesting. Having all 4 fleets on the table. We're gonna do a modified 9x3 map too, so we have room. So
I'll have to.
each other.
Yeah, I'll have to be perfectly honest. I think we are going to have to schedule a special day for that. Just knowing from experience how pivotal battles go, it's going to take a lot more time than we would have on a Thursday night. So we may want to do like a Saturday or Sunday on that.
I agree completely.
We're anticipating
Saturday
it
probably.
End of this month, maybe.
I have a feeling that after this
week.
yeah, I have a feeling that there's no way we're going to be able to avoid the pivotal battle after this week. So,
that's a lot of faith in us.
That's a lot of faith in the rebels over there.
Well, you know, it's just if they go 50%, yeah, I mean, yeah, they just need 2 to get there. So,
man, yeah, if you guys got 3 wins, that'd be pretty catastrophic to our.
I mean, I'd love it, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make that happen.
We can't really drop any wins at this point because of your resource advantage. Because any win that we drop on a
setback
planet immediately turns, and it's so hard to like get into them that it's so fun.
You are
playing this game as the commander. To like send my people to go fight battles, and it's like I can't control it. It's totally out of my hands. And I've never had this experience with Armada where I'm like, here's a macro scale. I have an objective. I play a lot of like strategy games, right? And you always fight battles in strategy games. But now I have to send my trusted lieutenant Garrett because I'm going to send him to this place because I expect him to get the good matchup. Or I have to send Jeff, and it's like on a hot streak right now. Let's keep feeding him and see what happens because he may just come up big again. You never know. So it's just been a really engaging experience doing this game.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for Nick to have to attack first this time.
I've been thinking about it for like 2 days now.
Because then we control the matchups, and it feels really good.
Yes. There definitely is a pretty nice advantage to being second.
Oh. But yeah. Well, Chris, that's all of I've got. I don't know if you wanted to talk about anything else with this, but
well, I mean, honestly, story-wise, what is going on with our people here? I can tell you right now that Admiral Cinder is definitely fuming now and really wants to get a hold of somebody, and may end up stop playing as defensively as she's been doing.
Gonna throw your ISD into the problem. Hope it comes out on the other side. Yeah, actually, that's one thing I didn't say is commander experience. So our Admiral Jeff got 3 XP off this game, and I think you did too.
I did.
Nick?
I did too. Yep.
And that's 3 twice for you now. No, you didn't get it the first time. You just got.
I didn't get it the first time.
But that's big. So now the Vortex has 2 aces. Has a total of like 10 XP or something crazy.
Of 8 experience and abilities.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you'll wait till you see what I picked too.
Oh my gosh.
You'll see it on Thursday.
I'm so worried.
I hope I play you, Garrett. It's gonna be fun.
I refunded all of my XP to retool my fleet. Because I was real worried. But yeah, our scarred Rhodian is
he's got what has he got now? But he's back with a vengeance. He's got an eye patch. the Empire's not only taken his friends from him, but they're taking his way of life because he will trust a Rhodian with an eye patch to be a simple merchant.
Well, I
I
would
hope I
trust
get
a Rhodian period, but
Yeah,
but
that
Ethan,
kind of, you know.
because if I get Ethan the matchup, I'll be like, you took everything from me, and he literally won't know what I'm talking about. It's gonna be great.
oh yeah, because Nick commanded their fleet.
Yeah.
Kind of works in character though for them.
But yeah, no, I'm really curious. Obviously, we don't want to give away the secrets, but like what everyone picks as their next upgrade, because man, the fleets are starting to heat up with options. Things are going to start dying.
Yeah.
And in case you guys are curious, yes, we are keeping everything secret. So you can see what goes on in the round, but what's coming up, you don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and while we're talking about roleplay stuff, from my story, is that Dark Mass Fleet Command is getting rather anxious. They were not anticipating such a strong insurgency, and so there are going to be no leniencies moving forward. We're going to be adopting a more aggressive extermination policy. So, hope you all are ready for that Thursday. We're gonna be coming in hot.
Yeah, I'm
Your
ready.
fleet.
I'm so
Huh?
ready. This vortex crap. That's like nightmare fuel. This interdictor
Oh.
situation.
I'm having so much fun with it.
Gosh.
I mean,
I-
really, like it. I do understand like why it's scary and stuff, but like even when like Jason flew as an MC30 and to a gladiator at close range, it was like 3 black and a red, but no fixing. And I went like 4 damage, and he went rerolled the black double. And I went 3 damage. And that was it. Like I just did 3 damage, and then the interdictor 2 red 2 blue with no dice fixing. I went and that's 1 damage. No, oh you have duplicate tokens. No redirect. Cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
another
just-
thing. The crippling, like how you described you to repaired your damage cards. That's a big deal
Yeah.
in our scenario.
Yes, I built like I said, I built the fleet with an idea. I did not realize how clutch this was going to be in like this 200 point like small force like game. But like being able to like repair damage cards so easily, the projections experts to be keeping my shields up, and just kind of like again flying it. It's an interdictor fleet, so it flies very defensively, and just it creates this box where like you don't want to come into it too hot, but then if you're coming into it like turn 3, turn 4. Like, are you going to hit me hard enough before I fly away from you? Because Gladiator can get out of trouble pretty quickly, and the Interdictor is not. It can only go speed 2, but like it's tough. So like, even though it might not get away from you. Like, are you going to hit it 6+ damage 2 turns, 3 turns in a row?
Yeah, because it's got 9 hull.
Yeah.
So you need 5 damage cards to get half points, which is challenging.
Yeah, and my token with Master Engineer, my token is Engineering 4.
Yeah. What are you, Master Engineer 2? Is that what you are?
Just 1.
Just 1?
I have.
So
I have
that's
3
only
tier
on the
1 abilities.
flagship. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, eventually I will probably end up with 3 tier 1 abilities, but this time around I was a little bit short on experience.
Yeah, going wide in the trees in the different upgrade trees actually seems really good from a utility perspective.
I think the way that it
I'm
seems
not
like it's
seeing
going
a lot
to
of
work.
value in the level 3 ones personally.
A lot of it will depend on how your fleet is built. I mean, when you look at mine, I'm essentially 1 ship. I mean, yes, I do have the Gazantes, but everything of significance is with that ISD, and so when you start taking the tier 2 stuff, it's just saying that you can do the same thing for the rest of your fleet, and that doesn't really do much for me. So
Yeah.
And
And I
I
look at
think
tier 2s and go, well, I'm just going to take a nav token, or I have a plan, right? Because I have every command that every single one of my ships is going to do through the whole game, basically, like in my. I don't see a huge amount of value in being like, okay, everybody get this token.
I think it's more that
I just
early on, I think it's you
I
spread out
fly
the
in a
tier
way that
1s.
is prepared for that kind of
Am I
thing.
muted? No.
no, we can hear you.
No.
Um, Yeah, I see a lot of value in you spread out your tier ones early on, because like picking up a new tier one for your flagship is, in most cases, I was just kind of looking through them. In most cases, it's going to be more powerful than like jumping up to tier two. But once you hit like 3 or 4 tier one abilities, you can't go any wider. So then you start saving your experience and upgrading your tier one to a tier two. When you start realizing like, okay, well maybe my strategy is changing. I don't no longer need this tier one ability. I'm gonna turn that into a tier two. I think we're going to see more tier twos and maybe a tier three. I don't really know if any tier threes are really worth it. Engineering is really cool, but like none of them are really like how you said, they don't jump off the page like, wow, that's so good. When you could just have 2
Like
tier
I
ones on the
like
flagship.
Gunnery 1.
Yeah, well, I think
Gunnery 1 on the assault frigate is really solid.
Yeah, I think it depends on ships. So like my ships, the MC30s and CR90 has like no engineering. But if I pick master engineer with them, all of a sudden they can engineer normally, like as a normal ship could.
Yeah.
Which would be valuable.
Mm-hmm.
I was originally thinking about doing some squad-based stuff, but I just... It's not fitting in with the character of what I'm flying right now and the way that I'm flying, so... Kind of stepping away from that and diversifying a bit more.
It's interesting how your fleet gets really impacted by where you get sent to fight. Because I've done a lot of like looking at the logistics of how do I team the upgrades they need campaign wise, right? So you want to plan your whole doctrine, like your whole strategy around that, and looking at what your opponents are doing and going, where do I think they're gonna go? What do their fleets need? It's really hard, but it's really fun because you kind of show up with a fleet that you didn't really expect. So you had to make some stuff work and be like, oh, this is an upgrade I don't usually use, but it could do this here with this thing. And like you're putting together this Rubik's Cube of a combo that you just dealt instead of being like, all right, here's my 400-point fleet.
And then
fully optimized,
dealing with the top end of 250 points also factors in there, especially when you start picking up aces.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. I'm not too... it's getting up there.
Yeah,
it's getting up there.
My fleet's pretty topped. Hair is expensive, but but the way I looked at it, she's like a ship. She's basically, I added a GR75 that is deadly towards squadrons.
Sure. Yeah.
You sound so excited about that, Nick. Yeah, sure, whatever.
I don't know why he's worried.
Oh, I'm not.
He's got the counter.
Just wait till you fight the Lothal tag team.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
The Lothal tag team.
Wow.
I don't want that at all.
I was not.
When did I get a defector token?
I mean, I guess we can feel fairly confident that they're not going to go after any of our bases at this point.
Yeah,
that'd be suicide at this stage.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how you're supposed to gauge when you're like, oh yeah, because like all the base defense objectives are so like tough, right? And so I don't know how you're supposed to gauge like when am I ready to attack a base, knowing that they're going to have one of these 3 objectives that gives them such an advantage.
Well, I think eventually, like, we just have to gain campaign points, and so the more you spread,
it becomes like a desperation.
The more bases exist, right? There's just nothing you can do except for attack bases.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Isn't
Are we still doing the max
what our late
bases?
End up being?
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't there a cap on the number of bases you can have?
9 for us.
I was going to say, are we doing double +1?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't, because we haven't. Yeah, it's double +1, but since we have 2 more players, I don't know if we were going to keep it at 7 or just fill up.
We have 4 players or 8 players, so like mathematically, I think
it's going to crowd the base or the map more than 8. That's what I consider.
Yeah. But we're also crowding the base with players.
That's it's true. Basically, going to start.
Oh, it'll be interesting. But attacking bases is very fun.
Yeah. I think it will come down to the pivotals is when the bases actually get dealt with.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think there's enough power in any of our individual fleets to really fight another fleet with any of those base bonuses. And that comes down mostly to the upgrade card stuff that we've been doing. Or outside of the aces, making the that gets them way more than another fleet, like relative point value powerful. Everything is going along pretty equivalently.
Okay, so let's go ahead and I know we don't want to give anything away here, but any predictions or smack talk from everybody here, and we'll start with Garrett.
Predictions wise, I got a feeling that I'm gonna be rotated out of the aggressive stage and I'll get to sit back and relax at base.
Nick?
Well, I think it's gonna be a lot of Rebel Blood this Thursday. I'm getting everybody loaded dice. We're gonna start fighting dirty if we have to. This is gonna be somebody's gonna get sapped in the back of the head,
and it may not necessarily be a rebel. Reuben?
Well, if the men under my command keep flying these torpedoes poorly, they're going back to flight school at the home fleet.
I've got it this time. All right, I've got it this time.
Oh, exactly. Akbar will yell at you.
Lesson learned. All right.
Yeah, and don't be too hard on Jason.
Jason
again,
was in a tough spot.
He was tilted too.
I can't describe how bad his blue dice were. It was.
Yeah.
He rolled what? 3 crits 2 times in a row.
He was trying to kill a defender, and he did 0 damage to a defender in 3 separate attacks with an A-wing. I was just like, I can't believe that. And then I turned around and smacked it, and it was just like, I don't know. I can't control the dice, Jason.
I just have to say he has notoriously bad dice.
Yeah, we gotta I have extra dice. I think I'm just gonna swap his dice out.
It doesn't matter. As soon as he touches those dice,
they're cursed.
They're cursed. Yeah.
I've legitimately played against people who only roll hot red dice, doubles. It's just insane. So people's dice are just good, man. And not every dice is perfect.
And I am just gonna throw out. I'm just gonna throw out the quote from Clubber Lang in Rocky III when he's asked about your prediction for the fight. Pain.
I'm looking at the map right now. 6 rebel locations.
It must be frustrating. Sector 1, isn't it, Nick? Look at this.
It is.
So fortified.
I hate
it. Look at that sweet Mandalorian.
I have my General Thomas.
Under control.
My rock of General Thomas standing strong, holding the line. Been good.
But for this week, we will be on stream on Thursday. The week following that, assuming that we hit that pivotal battle, it will probably come on a Saturday or Sunday once we figure out what our schedules are like, because that's going to be a long game. You guys,
that's flux.
Yeah. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. I'm going to close things out. But again, thank you, Garrett. Thank you, Reuben. Thank you, Nick, for being on tonight.
Thanks for having us.
All right, and we will catch you guys. We'll probably try to do a rundown of this just exclusively for the YouTube channel, which will be a recorded thing after we actually get the battles done. So take care, guys.
Yep, we'll see y'all Thursday.
See ya.
All right, so that is it for tonight's show. I hope you enjoyed the recap of what's going on in Rebellion in the Rim. We're going to try to keep you up to date on everything that's going on there. As far as what we've got on the agenda for this week, again, we are going to be doing Rebellion in the Rim on Thursday. We'll see what the matches ups are before we figure out who we're going to get on the stream. Little bit trickier to figure that out because we have to do the declarations there on site when we get everything started. On top of that, we will have tomorrow night, Tuesday Night X-Wing. Again, not sure what we've got going on. We've got a lot of people that are preparing for Worlds, so you may see some of the more competitive builds going on there. Some things that you've seen in the past. We'll just try to get some different matchups there. I am not running a competitive build, so I probably will actually stay off the stream this time, simply because I'm still waiting for my bombers to be painted, but I am anxious to see how those bombers will work when we get everything running and I can actually sit them down on the table and get them ready to go. But with that, we're going to close it up a little bit early tonight. I want to thank you for watching, and I encourage you to join us on the Facebook page. Just look for the 13th Fleet on Facebook. You'll be able to find us, join the channel. Tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you don't like about the show. Leave comments on YouTube to let us know what's going on there as well. We are more than happy to take your suggestions in. In fact, this campaign review is something that was specifically suggested by one of our viewers, so we want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.